something down for Randy. Let me roll something up for Rowdy. When you think you got all the answers, I'll change all the questions proudly. Let me burn one down for the warrior. Let me light something up for Dusty. I die with kings and queens. This American dream is so lovely. One love to the ones above me. Put something in the air tonight.
Alright, welcome everybody to the very first edition of the Eduardo Asylum. Of course, Jordan couldn't be with us. He said he had some stuff to do, and let's let him be. Same with Capone, he had work, and that, I guess, gave me some breathing room to a new project, the Eduardo Asylum, exclusive to the podcast Legend Killers channel. Okay, so let's just get right into it. No battleground review. I figure at this point in time, with everything that's happened this week, everything's just been kind of late. All I will say is that I liked most of the outcomes. I loved every match, and not really much to get into compared to this week of Raw and SmackDown. So let's just get into the new era episode of Raw. Of course, they would announce the Universal Champion. Now, when I say I wanted a Universal Champion, this is not what I had in mind. I lobbied for this idea a few months before the draft had started, where a superstar would come out and defend the title on both Raw and SmackDown and be that Universal Champion, the literal face of the company, because he's on both brands. But hey, such is life. I'm not a big fan of the name Universal Champion, especially because the title's not going to be universal. It's going to be exclusive to Raw, and if it is in fact going to be the champion that defends the title on both brands, well then that's pointless, because that's supposed to be brand exclusive. Either way, this is a win-loss in my opinion. Change the name, that's kind of all I would hope for, but I doubt it. They're at the point of no return right here. Anyway, let's just get into it. Finn Balor versus Rusev versus Kevin Owens versus Cesaro, which was the first starter fatal 4-way of the WWE Raw tournament to decide who would face Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. I think this was a pretty good match debuting for Finn Balor, especially. He showcased a lot. Rusev, to my surprise, had a lot of momentum near the end of this match. I mean, he had Kevin Owens in the Accolade, and I was sworn that he was going to actually make Kevin Owens tap, and it was crazy fun. I enjoyed the Tope Con Hilo dive by Finn Balor onto everyone else, and the double suplex, and really Kevin Owens and Rusev working together, and Kevin Owens just being Kevin Owens, and it was a fun match. Really, I can't nitpick at all. Yeah, that's pretty much all I could go into right here. Next, let's get into the Nia Jax debut. I can't understand for the life of me why she would go into this having a squash match with she went into to this match with a local competitor rather than actually being put over by somebody like Summer Rae. I don't think it would hurt Summer Rae too much to lose to Nia Jax, nor would it, hurt Nia Jax in any way, because she'd be winning. But her tossing around Britt Baker, as her name is in the article here, it's not really flattering or impressive to see her toss around a local and put on 2 sloppy leg drops after a headbutt. Personally, I was a big fan of the powerbomb that she gave in NXT near the end of her run in NXT, but I mean, if she's not going to ditch that leg drop, I would say at least get better at it. Get some more elevation on that or something. Anyway, it was whatever. Of course, Michael Cole hyped her up to say Sasha Banks and Charlotte should be watching carefully at her. And really, even in storyline perspective, I don't think they would be, because of the characters that they both possess. Nia Jax's debut, not impressive in my opinion. So next they cut away to a Sasha Banks interview where she talks about how this was a 10-year-old's dream and been wanting since day one to be the women's champion, and this is my dream, this is my moment, and that only foreshadows to what happens next. And really, it was a good segment to get you really into this match. Sasha Banks, man, I never realized just how valuable of a character she is to the company, especially with all the stuff that she could do. She could pull off a heel really well, and she could pull off the face really well. Kudos to her. So next we go into the Fatal 4-Way match. Chris Jericho versus Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn versus Sheamus. I'm not gonna lie, this was kind of boring. Similar to the last match, you had Sheamus and Jericho teaming up on Roman, so two heels against the face. Anyway, Sami Zayn was kind of hesitant for the moment. He eventually dogpiles on Roman as well. Really, this match was pretty decent. Compared to the first Fatal 4-Way, it wasn't really all that great, but it was fun in some parts. I liked Sami Zayn getting his in the sun. He had his Haluva kick to Sheamus and Blue Thunderbomb to Roman Reigns, where I legit thought he almost had it those two times. Then Jericho got in the way, and then Jericho I actually almost thought was going to win it as well, up until I saw that he was going for the spear. And then really nobody ever wins off of stealing a finisher unless it's like a pay-per-view or something, and even then that's kind of a rarity. So I kind of knew from there that Roman was going to go for the spear, and 1, 2, 3, it was kind of over. Alright, moving on. I'm just going to skip right to the women's match because I really don't know what else happened. I mean, I could check the article, but I'm just too lazy to do any of that. So the women's match, it was really good. I mostly enjoyed Sasha Banks pulling out that the Eddie Guerrero. She pulled an Eddie Guerrero where she threw the title belt at Dana Brooke and pretended like Dana Brooke hit her with the title, and Dana Brooke got kicked out. Why the referee didn't just call for disqualification, I will never know. But either way, it was very good. I think this is where everybody has had nothing but praise for Sasha Banks, and I finally see why, because you know what, she's just so enjoyable to watch, not only in the ring but just as a character. And you know, Sasha Banks, very refreshing. My favorite spot off of this not only was that of the Eddie Guerrero, she also hit the Banks statement twice and legitimately made me think there was going to be a screwy finish where Charlotte was going to win dirty at the end anyway, but no, Sasha Banks hits her with the Banks statement yet again, and Charlotte couldn't let go, so Charlotte tapped. I think this was a very good storytelling match, even at the end where Charlotte screamed at Sasha, "This will never ever be your title," or she screamed something like that. Great match. Props to WWE for switching it up, and you know what? Congratulations to Sasha Banks for that women's title. Really, that's really all that needs to be said about this match. Congratulations. She definitely deserves that women's title. I very much enjoy her work, even if I'm not like the most keen Sasha Banks fan. She was still definitely fun to watch. Alright, get to it. Now that I'm back on this article, let's see what else I missed. Oh yeah, Neville was back. He faced Curtis Axel. I believe it was just a squash match. From the parts I saw, I was kind of hungry, so I got something to eat. If you want, I could give you a review on that. I cooked a turkey burger for about 5 to 10 minutes. Flipped it back and forth. I added some black pepper and some onions, and then I got some barbecue sauce and some cheese and I think some lettuce, and I put it all together. It was a 5 out of 5 star burger, turkey burger for me. So next was Braun Strowman versus James Ellsworth. Not gonna lie, I didn't even pay attention to this. I don't really know what happened. All I know is that he was wearing the local was had an Offspring's tattoo apparently. Okay. I guess that's where that meme came from, by the way. If you see my post on Twitter, that's not the only meme of the guy, but you see what I mean. Alright. Next, Big Cass and Enzo versus the Shining Stars. Enzo cross-bodies Primo. Epico grabs him from behind. Primo drop kicks Enzo in the back, and really I'm just reading off of the article from here because nothing special happened. There wasn't that much of to go into besides R-Truth appearing out of nowhere as he was playing Pokemon Go. I thought that was pretty enjoyable. It was pretty good comic relief. And then Cass gets the big boot to win, and I found that pretty funny. I think if R-Truth is gonna do wacky segments with our Goldust, I think that's the way to do it. Truly do. Anyway, next is the backstage segment with Roman Reigns and Finn Balor. I think this segment says enough. No pun intended. Says enough about how WWE feels about Samoans. So basically, they both tell each other good luck. Balor says, "I don't need luck because I'm Irish." Wow. Stereotype. Reigns replies with, "Well, I'm Samoan. Enough said." Again, goes to show what WWE has with this guy, for this guy. So, going on to the match, I had to re-watch this match because I missed it the first time. My dog was going through something, so yeah, anyway, good back and forth match. Oh, to hell with it. If you guys want to hear what happened, just watch the match yourself. I just want to praise WWE for saying how great it was that Balor won, how much of a shock it was that Balor won. I was pretty happy to see Balor get that double foot stomp, the coup de grace, if you will, and yeah, I don't like Roman Reigns getting so much momentum in the match like he usually does, just, always having that shoulder block with him. I found that pretty obnoxious even when Cena did it, and Roman Reigns is really no exception with that shoulder block. It's kind of annoying to see somebody have that much momentum, I guess, just to look that strong. But I mean, that's the only nitpick about this match. Everything else was pretty good. Roman Reigns had his spots here and there. Balor, I'm kind of shocked at this. He countered a drive-by into a drop kick, and I mean, I don't know what to say to that. That was impressive. That was really impressive. Um, Reigns went for a schoolboy into the powerbomb. He went for that Superman punch. Balor moved out of the way, and I think Reigns had Reigns had a Superman punch. I think it took him like his second or third try, and then he went for that spear, and then Balor punted him in the head. Simple as that. Balor goes for a double foot stomp once. Reigns kicks out. Roman Reigns goes for that Razor's Edge powerbomb. Balor instead goes for the sunset flip, and from there, Roman Reigns kicks out of the sling. Wow, I can't talk today. He kicks out of the sunset flip, and Balor quickly goes for that sling blade and double foot stomp. 1, 2, 3. Balor wins. Balor is your new number one contender, thus ending Raw. Okay, so if my voice is a little more clear, it's because I turned off my air conditioner. So, let's go into SmackDown Live, as they're now calling it. I'll just go off of memory here. So, SmackDown Live, since I actually saw this one on TV and not over my computer, it starts off with Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan going, "You ready to do this?" And it certainly did start off, segue into a new intro. Pretty cool. JBL, the new commentary team for SmackDown is JBL, Mauro Ranallo, and David Otunga. And JBL just really makes you want to turn off the TV, regardless of how long Mauro Ranallo is on. Because Mauro Ranallo is saving me from JBL in a way. Yeah, okay. I guess I'm being a little harsh there, but it's still true. You know, it's still true. So basically, the whole SmackDown roster comes down, and Dean Ambrose gets announced by Daniel Bryan. "Welcome everybody, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion." They brought back the World Heavyweight aspect to that name. Oh my! I wasn't a big fan of the World Heavyweight title part to their name, and I'm not a big fan of it now. I still wish that they had brought back the second World Heavyweight title back, but whatever. Universal title. Alright. Anyway, they announced the 6-pack challenge to have AJ Styles, John Cena, Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin. That's 4 people, right? And the last one was Bray Wyatt. And then they announced that the 6th person would be the winner from the opening match, which was the Battle Royal. And Apollo Crews comes out the winner, and he had an impressive Battle Royal. I honestly thought it was going to Kane for a minute, and I think this was a good job on their part to give it to Apollo Crews. I think he certainly had a lot to showcase from that. After that, they had the Shelton Benjamin is back promo. And, of course, at first I wasn't a big fan of all these names coming back because, well, the way I see it, if you're going to have it be the new era, have it to be about the new superstars. And, I feel like oversaturating the rosters with newer guys is really a bad thing, even though SmackDown didn't really get the majority, so to speak. I think they got a less than stellar roster compared to Raw, but whatever. I think now that I'm seeing what I'm seeing SmackDown get a majority of the stars to come back, I'm not all against that anymore. So SmackDown having Shelton Benjamin, wouldn't mind it at all. I'm just curious as to see what they're gonna do with Shelton Benjamin, whether he's gonna put over somebody or whatever. Next was the Miz TV segment. He basically interviewed himself. He ripped off Jericho's highlight reel from a few months ago, and nothing really special happened up until Randy Orton came out and told him that he plays with himself. And I gotta say something. Randy Orton going unscripted like this, I can't help but give anything but praises to the guy, because I mean, how can you hate the fact that he just said that? You are really good at playing with yourself. That's what he told the Miz. And there was nothing funnier that moment, or hell, just that week, than when he said that. And anyway, this match segued into a Randy Orton versus Miz quote unquote impromptu match. Of course, this match was kind of a Cena 2009 style match where Miz had most of the momentum. He and then an RKO, which was not out of nowhere. You could have seen that RKO from a mile away. But it was whatever. It was a decent match. Nothing really special to go into. I guess the RKO out of nowhere. Miz had most of the momentum, as I said. Again, basic match. Move on. Next, Becky Lynch versus Natalya. Becky Lynch got her win back, and honestly, I think this match was a lot better than their Battleground match. Not because Natalya won, but because it was more back and forth than it was, one-sided, because Natalya did have a lot of momentum in that match at Battleground, of course. In this one, it seemed a lot more even, and it was a lot more sequenced. They had some pretty cool spots here and there. Becky Lynch had a leg drop from the top rope. Natalya came out with a discus clothesline. That's her signature move, which came out of nowhere, honestly. Hey, there's the real RK out of nowhere. That discus clothesline, natty by nature, as more Ronaldo called it. That was a good match. I like how she countered the sharpshooter into the disarmer, and then at the end, this match had a post-match interview, which segued into Alexa Bliss and the rest of the divas coming out. They asked Becky Lynch how she felt about getting her win back, and Becky Lynch said, "Just call me Becky Balboa." And after that, Alexa Bliss comes out, interrupts her, gets about 10 seconds to say something. Naomi comes out to a pop. I was kind of shocked because before that she was getting little to no reaction. No offense, but I mean, when you could hear your own music and nobody's cheering or booing, that's when you're in a bad situation. And here, I'm happy that they gave Naomi a cheer, or at least a cheer. Really a cheer, because she deserves it. She's a great competitor. I think Jordan will go more into that if you guys, talk to him about Naomi and stuff and how impressive she is. Anyway, she comes out. She cuts a pretty good 20-second promo because, again, she even got cut off. And anyway, she basically said, Alexa, how are you running your mouth when you haven't even competed in the SmackDown ring? You better get your ass back to... Well, she didn't say that, but... anyway, you better get to the back of the line, is what she said. And she gets cut off by Carmella, who basically had barely enough time to say her intro. Her... Bada bing, hottest chick in the ring. And basically she said, get out your popcorn, right as... I forget who the next diva interrupted her but I think after her, it was Eva Marie who interrupted everybody. And of course, Eva Marie comes out with nothing, absolutely nothing to say. And of course, she has the biggest spotlighted entrance. Why? I mean, what is the purpose of this? I'm confused. Alexa Bliss came out to plain lights. The lighting didn't even change in Alexa Bliss's entrance. I could barely even hear her music. Hell, and then Naomi barely didn't come out to any lights. Carmella, who should have come out to some form of lighting change, didn't. And Eva Marie gets like the most glamorous entrance you could possibly think of. She comes out with this ugly music and just red, no pun intended, red lights all over the place. And of course, the announcer goes, "All red everything, Eva Marie." And cut segment, Eva Marie did nothing. She posed and then did nothing. That's what you wanted to end your Divas Okay, I'm sorry. Your women's division establishment. And off of one of the worst women's wrestler ever. No, I hate to say this about anybody. I hate to be this negative, but Eva Marie is not talented. And especially not talented compared to the rest of the roster. Why WWE tries to show her off this much, really, it's beyond me. And I really hope that they don't continue to do this. I really hope that they have a second women's championship and they don't give it to Eva Marie. Okay, that's just kind of it. That's how the segment ends. Let's just skip right to the 6-pack challenge. So I was kind of expecting it to be elimination style, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. I think AJ Styles kind of looked a little weak in this match. I mean, I'm not gonna lie with you, he got double crossed by Bray Wyatt, and I mean, he did have his moments in there, but I mean, the guy was taking a lot of bumps. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna skip right to the outcome. Cena gave everyone an attitude adjustment just before AJ Styles gave him a phenomenal forearm, and Dolph Ziggler gave him the super kick that has a 5% win rate, basically. And I'm so happy he won off of that super kick, but I wish he had just won off of that zigzag rather. Honestly, he's almost never won off of that super kick. So I think him pinning AJ Styles, I think it was a good thing for Dolph Ziggler to look strong. What's more to say? It was a good match. I think this was match of the night, in my opinion. This and Becky Lynch versus Natalya. So Dolph Ziggler won off of that super kick, and Dean Ambrose comes out, interrupts him, and basically they start trash talking each other, and Daniel Bryan and Shane come out, and Daniel Bryan raises both of their hands, and there you go. Both of their hands are raised, and that was the end of this week's New Eras episodes. So, yeah, I would go into more, but right now I got a lot to edit. So if I have enough time, because I have about 3 hours left until I have something else to do and I don't want to spend too much time on this. Okay, I'll just end it with this. Contact me, eddylynch16@gmail.com. This was the very first Eduardo Asylum. Of course, this wasn't really organized, so I might set a time limit or something and figure this thing out a little more. I'll I'll probably cover NXT next week. This week's NXT was pretty good. Nakamura coming out versus Wesley Blake, and Kota Ibushi versus I forget his name, Buddy Murphy. Those were two pretty cool matches. No Way Jose cut an interesting promo, and let me think. I think that was kind of it. Alright. Well, anyway, those were the two episodes of Raw, SmackDown, and really just all the cliff notes for NXT. Oh, yeah, and Bayley had a segment with William Regal requesting to fight Asuka at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. So, yeah, that was all pretty good. And, alright. Anyway, I am Eddie Lynch. I am Eduardo Betancourt, whatever you want to call me. Follow me on Twitter at eJose98. EddieLynch16@gmail.com. Contact me there. I do have a Google Plus, so if you want to talk to me on Hangouts or whatever, feel free. And I am 1/4 of the podcast Legend Killers, and I'm out.